Every year, families from all over Israel would make the long journey to Jerusalem for the great Feast of Passover. It was a joyful time of worship, celebration, and remembering God's deliverance. Among these families were Joseph, Mary, and their young son, Jesus. At this time, Jesus was just 12 years old, still a boy, but already showing a wisdom that was truly beyond his years. This trip, however, would be unlike any other. After the bustling festival ended, Joseph and Mary joined the large caravan heading back home to their town of Nazareth. In those days, traveling in large groups was common, offering safety and companionship. Parents didn't always keep their children right by their side. Kids would often walk and play with relatives or friends. So, with this sense of community, Joseph and Mary naturally assumed Jesus was somewhere within the large, friendly crowd. They had no reason to worry, yet. But as evening fell and the caravan settled for the night, after a full day's journey, they realized something was deeply wrong. They looked for Jesus among their relatives and friends, but he was nowhere to be found. A wave of panic set in. Imagine the sheer terror of losing your child in a massive, sprawling city like Jerusalem. Without a moment's hesitation, they turned back, their hearts pounding, as they began to retrace their steps, praying for his safety. For 3 long, agonizing days, Joseph and Mary searched everywhere. They scoured the busy marketplaces. They weaved through the winding streets. They checked in with friends and acquaintances they knew in the city, but there was no sign of Jesus. Their worrying and fear grew heavier with each passing hour. With every person who shook their head and said they hadn't seen him, their hope was beginning to fade. Finally, their search led them to the last place they thought to look, the temple, and there he was. Not lost, not in trouble, but calmly sitting among the most learned teachers of the law. He wasn't just listening. He was actively engaging in their discussions, asking profound questions and even answering theirs. The scholars, men who had dedicated their lives to studying the scriptures, were absolutely amazed at his understanding. This 12-year-old boy spoke with an authority and wisdom that left them speechless. Seeing him, Mary rushed to his side, a storm of relief and frustration swirling inside her. "Son," she said, her voice trembling, "why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." It was the cry of a mother who had been terrified, now relieved, but still shaken to her core by the ordeal. Jesus looked at his parents, not with defiance, but with a calm, deep confidence. He replied, "Why were you searching for me? Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" His words carried a profound meaning. He wasn't being disrespectful. He was gently revealing his true identity and his deep awareness of his divine mission. Even at just 12, Jesus understood that his life was about serving God, his true Father. Although his parents didn't fully grasp the depth of his words at that moment, they were comforted to have found him safe. Jesus returned home with them to Nazareth and was obedient to them. He continued to grow, not just in height, but in wisdom and in favor with both God and all the people who knew him. This moment in the temple was a beautiful glimpse of the extraordinary life he was destined to live. This story reminds us of 2 powerful truths. First, that Jesus' divine purpose was clear to him. Even from a young age, he belonged to his Father's work. And second, it shows us the importance of seeking God's presence, just as Jesus did in the temple. Sometimes, the peace and the answers we're desperately searching for are found when we simply pause, turn to God, and sit in his house. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content that brings these timeless stories to life. We'll see you in the next one.